Executive Director of the Rice County Historical Society. I'll let her do the honors of introducing our other guest, because she brought him along today. As the Rice County Historical Society is a fundraiser next Friday, June 12th, Faribault American Legion is the place to be. Social hours at 5, dinners at 6. The program is at 7. All sorts of fun to be experienced, right, Susan?
Absolutely. Thanks so much for letting us join you.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. And you want to do the honors of introducing our other guest here this morning?
Love to. This is Gary Anderson, and Gary is the new leader of the Buddy Koopmans Orchestra.
Not the kicker, the former kicker of the Minnesota Vikings.
I haven't heard that one for a few years.
Gary Anderson. Remember he missed the
Oh yeah, people asked me that for years afterwards. Are you going to the Gary Anderson kicker? Are you?
No, I'm sure you did. So you've been in orchestra since you were 13, I was reading.
Yeah, I started in about, I think it was 1963. My dad started playing trumpet in Rogers Band in 1952, and so that was my in to the band, and I couldn't play very well, but I sure loved it and kept doing it. I've been playing in big bands ever since.
And when did you take over from Roger?
Well, we kind of arranged to pass. He arranged to pass the band on to me about 3 years ago, but I didn't need any more to do. I knew it was going to be hard to get it going again, but fortunately, 3 really organized ladies in Northfield found out that I had the band, and they could tell I wasn't going to get it going without their help, and so they pushed me to do a performance at the Senior Center in Northfield a couple of months ago, and now we're going to be playing for the Historical Society fundraiser, and looking forward to it.
And you kept the Buddy Koopman Orchestra name?
Yeah, it's it's a name that's known in this area. He was the man. So.
And as I understand, many of the players are the same and the stands that the players are seated at, so the look is similar.
Yeah. Actually, there's only a couple of players that are still able to play. I mean, most of the original members of the band are not playing anymore.
They're playing in heaven, some of them.
Well, some of them, yeah. But no, I know a lot of good musicians, and there's a lot of musicians around town that I'm able to connect with, and so it's a good band.
I heard some great feedback from after the Northfield event, and at that time is when we were looking for a band for our event,
sure.
And so the timing was perfect.
And this orchestra was at your first, I think you called it the USO dance, didn't it?
Right. Probably, what was it, 2008 or something like that, a long time ago. Yep. And we've had a number of, I think Buddy's, the Koopmans Orchestra played for a few years at first, and then we went to some different bands. People wanted a sound other than just big band, but it was, many of us have also missed that sound.
Oh,
so
I bet, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
And it's still big, isn't it?
It's coming back. I play in a band that plays at the Wabasha Caves in St. Paul every month, and we have 300 kids. They're 20-year-old kids.
They love that swing.
They come in and they're really good dancers, and they love the music. They applaud after every piece, and yeah, it's a lot of fun, real inspiring for musicians.
Yeah, and that was big time in the movies. In fact, I watched a movie last night that had a lot of dancing, and I can't remember the name of it now. Had Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
That was bad. I'm sorry. Susan Garland, the Executive Director of the Rice County Historical Society, will tell us what the proceeds are used for in our next segment. And history's best friend is the Rice County Historical Society, at least locally here. Susan Garland is with us. She is the Executive Director. How long have you been the Executive Director?
12 years as of today.
Today's your anniversary?
It is.
Gary? Why did I say Chris?
No idea.
Gary, sing happy anniversary.
I don't know the anniversary song, unless it's written in notes on a page. But
it's quite all right, because what he does is he plays clarinet with the orchestra, so he's not the singer.
No, I know. But you obviously enjoy it, or you wouldn't still be there.
I love it, yeah. Absolutely. It's great. Every day is an adventure. Every day I learn new things about Rice County's past and get to do fun things like be on the air with you and come to an event. I mean, let's face it, part of my job means that next Friday I get to hear a big band play. I mean, really, how cool is that?
And shake a leg, maybe.
Maybe.
You have to.
Well, it's fabulous. And you know, we're people don't have to dance, but boy, that sure is fun. And I know a lot of our members like to dance a little bit, and many of the people who are coming because they're looking forward to dancing. And we encourage anybody who would like to come out and dance to give us a call at the museum for tickets, or even stop in that evening and join us. That'd be great.
Couldn't get a hold of Roger Koopmans during the break. I did leave a message with him, so he may call us here before the end of the show. I'd love to visit with him and go a little bit down memory lane, but I do know that the orchestra started in 1948, the exact same year that this radio station went on the air, 1948.
Interesting.
Isn't that awesome?
That is great. So you know exactly. So were they ever on air with you? Did you?
Oh yeah. He's been on the show before, gone down memory lane with us a little bit. He played here. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That was back in the day when a lot of bands played live in the radios, studios, right?
Yeah. Well, I was never part of that, but
You weren't?
not playing live on a radio station, but it definitely happened. I mean, Jeannie Arlen Peterson, who I think recently passed away, but she and her husband at the time were the leaders of the WCCO radio orchestra, and it was an important part of the program in a lot of stations.
Yeah, a lot of stations have their own orchestra. I don't know that KDHL had its own orchestra, but I do know a lot of musicians came in here and played in those early years.
How cool is that to hear live music?
Now, television wasn't big then.
Sure.
It wasn't as big. Radio was it.
It takes a lot of effort to get out of your house and go to a dance and listen to live music, but when you do, it's always rewarding.
And I like the fact that you said it's coming back. Young people are enjoying it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard that St. Olaf has a swing club, and so these are college students learning to dance, and when I told a couple of our interns about the event, they said, oh, that's amazing, that's really great to hear a live band playing big band music from that time period. We hope so too.
Yeah. Again, where can I get tickets?
You can give us a call at the Historical Society. Our number is 507-332-2121. You could send us an email at rchs@rchistory.org, or all of our board members have tickets on hand. Dinner tickets, because this is a fundraiser for the Historical Society, so we start with dinner. Well, actually, we start with the social hour at 5 and dinner at 6, and the dance at 7. Tickets are $25 a piece,
Which is a great deal.
I think so.
That includes your dinner.
Exactly. And it is a fundraiser, so we're also having silent auction items. Some great things being donated by local businesses. Everything from this really cool milk can crock from Farmer Seed, and there are gift certificates to golf courses and to restaurants around town, and programmable thermostat even somebody donated, and so it's a wide range of things, and really it all is about helping us preserve Rice County's history.
That was going to be my next question. What a great segue. What do the proceeds get used for?
They get used for all kinds of activities. They get used for our educational outreach. The next week we have a history camp. These are kids just finishing up with 3rd through 5th grade who join us for a week. It helps towards that. It helps for public programs. It helps put exhibits, and it helps take care of the collection and all those other kinds of things that are about the meat and potatoes of running a museum.
Gary Anderson, are you a history buff?
Oh, I am, yeah. I've been to the Historical Society over by the fairgrounds, and it's I just love it. I haven't spent enough time there, but really well done. The exhibits and things that you learn are really fun, yeah.
You know, we're rich in history, but everywhere is rich in history.
It is, absolutely, and so what's important is knowing the differences, knowing what's your history, making a connection to this place as a part of who we are and our culture, and because every community is a little bit different than another, and there are reasons for that. There are pieces from the past that hint at why Faribault and Northfield are two different communities, and that's part of our job, is to help be able to ensure that those stories from the past are preserved and can be shared. And there are a lot of new people coming to the community, both from the United States and from abroad.
Well, especially, we just had talked to the mayor and head of the chamber here locally yesterday about this vision report and the demographic report showing that Faribault is growing diverse-wise, percentage-wise, bigger than any other community in Minnesota.
Exactly, exactly. And understanding and knowing about this new community that they are adopting is important to understanding and becoming a part of the community, because that's why they're here.
And they will be part of our history.
They will, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have some initiatives that we're working to make sure that we are gathering that history, because their story is going to become part of our story as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Have you done any ancestry work, Gary?
Yeah, there's a lot of work been done on my ancestors on both sides of my family.
Anderson's a pretty common name.
Yeah. No, but I have documents, like I have my great-grandfather's immigration papers that he got, you know, when he came from Sweden, and in fact, my dad's side of the family, the Anderson side of the family, traces back to the Mayflower. We had a relative that came over on the Mayflower, and I live on a farm near here that was built by a Danish immigrant in 1910, starting in 1910, and I just still, everything is the same. It's just like he left it. Harnesses hanging in the horse barn. There's a forge. There's, you know, the old one bottom horse-drawn plow, all kinds of things like that, and you just marvel, how did one person, clear the land and raise crops that sustained him and his animals with this kind of equipment and a couple of horses? You know, it's marvelous.
And you don't have to look far. You look at the beautiful buildings in downtown Northfield and the even more impressive buildings in downtown Faribault, and you know that they were hardworking and that they succeeded. And thinking about how hard they had to work, yet again they did succeed. That's a part of what we do, is we record all of that and able to talk about that.
Not saying that people don't work hard today, they do.
Absolutely.
But today we're more of a, I like to call it a microwave society. We want things instant gratification. That includes our buildings. You know, they get up as quick as possible. Back in those days, well, that's why they're still standing.
Right, absolutely. You know, you think about students working just as hard then and now, but now the number of things students have to know is exponentially larger. Just the whole, how many subjects, and of course history continues to grow, so their history lessons are longer.
Yeah.
They've got more to know.
Yeah.
So
we never quite thought of that way. When I was a kid, didn't have as much history to learn as the kids today.
in a way, yeah. And one of the things that they're bombarded with is all of this information. You know, history is happening on Facebook and Twitter and all of that. And it's true, today history is happening live and there's so much information. One of the challenges that young people have today is to learn how to filter, to learn how to become, to increase their understanding of what to take in and what not to take in.
Yeah, and that never goes away.
Right.
Facebook and the
Exactly.
Twitter and all those other things.
Information literacy is one of their challenges.
It'll be interesting to see how that all evolves in the next 10, 20 years.
It's kind of a fun time to be alive and to be able to look back at the past and to look forward. Yeah, it should be really interesting.
Someday there will be a display at the Rice County Historical Society Museum showing Facebook, Twitter, And people will remember back when we used to do that stuff.
That's right, that's right. They'll have a display, like right at the moment, for example. You can go into one of our buildings and you can feel an old typewriter.
Yeah.
And you can crank a phone and have that. In fact, we're hoping to have that actually a live experience during the fair, so you can actually crank a phone and get to a switchboard operator who connects you up.
Oh, that would be cool.
Isn't that cool? But in the future, there'll be 2 cell phones, and people will look at these little QWERTY phone keyboards and wonder, what do we do now? And okay, you press a message in. What do you mean you press a message in?
Yeah.
By that time, they probably have the cell phone implanted in their body somewhere. They don't even have to have a piece of equipment.
Yeah, you got the phone watches.
The phone
now.
watches,
Yeah.
Exactly.
All that stuff. I was just thinking, when I was a young lad, I know it's hard to believe, but I was a young lad at one time. You'd get on the, in Spring Valley where I grew up, there was a party line. I mean, you'd pick up the phone and other people would be talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure, yeah. My dad used to talk about how, you know, there was a certain number of rings, 2 shorts and 1 long or something, that would identify who's calling who, and some people would rubberneck, I guess, was that the word he used? I bet, you know, listen in and pick up on the gossip and spread the news.
And you could just dial the last 4 digits of the phone number and get where you wanted to call locally.
Well, in fact, even the word dial a number, we don't dial, we enter the number, or hang up the phone. You know, that whole idea of hanging up the phone is something the kids, well, it's the phrase we use, but it has no meaning. You know, we know that that means you're taking the receiver and you're actually hanging it vertically on a hook that would have been mounted onto the wall.
As I get older, I realize I don't remember which years. So I don't remember if it was last year or the year before at the fair when they had the Morse code.
Last year.
At the Historical Society
Yeah.
site. It was so cool. Those kids were having so much fun tapping out their Morse code messages.
And I think that's one of the neatest pieces about what we experience at the museum, is that it's the kids. The kids think that the past is cool. Because, of course, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with them. I am a little biased, but I think the past is very cool too, which is, I think, part of what is happening with the band, why all of the swing kids, or the kids, are learning swing and they're loving the music. The past is...
It's fun music.
It's classic music, and one of the reasons I can even get a band together now is because musicians love to play that music, and they don't have much opportunity anymore. So, you know, I can make calls and say, you know, I want to come to a rehearsal and play a job on the 12th, you know, they're there. They love it.
How many members are in your orchestra?
We'll have about 17 people there.
That's
It's
great
a full big
sound.
band. 5 saxes, 4 trombones, 4 trumpets, and a singer, and 4 rhythm section. 4 piano, drums, bass. Well, it'll be 3 piano, drums, bass. Sometimes there would be a guitar, but I'm not going to get a guitar for this one.
You do some of your own original arrangements?
No. That's another interesting thing about taking this band over, though. You know, the book of music that I got was old. The pages were yellow, and you could hardly see black notes on the yellow pages, and you could see as the parts wore out, some of the guys in the band would take their part home and they'd hand write it out before they could still read it, and that would be what, you know, they'd use after that. Nowadays, you know, we have copy machines, and I can go online and find these charts, the original arrangements, Benny Goodman arrangements and so forth, sometimes even for free. But there's all kinds of websites that stock this music and offer it.
Yeah, I can imagine it being on an iPad, where you can expand it,
Sure.
make it bigger so you can see the notes as you get older. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's happening more and more.
Again, Susan Garwood is the Executive Director of the Rice County Historical Society, and Gary Anderson is the, how would I label you, the chieftain, the head honcho, the big cheese, what would be your title there with Roger Koopman, Buddy Koopman's orchestra?
Well, I guess leader maybe, but would
The
work.
leader of the band, Dan Fogelman.
I'm the facilitator.
But it's going to be an awesome night, I guarantee you. And again, people want to get tickets. Are they going pretty good?
They are. They are. We have more to sell, but it'll be a nice crowd. The people can get tickets probably best by giving us a call at the museum. Number again is 507-332-2121. And we're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. You can always leave a message, and we will make sure to get back to you.
And they're only $25 the tickets. That includes your dinner. You always have great dinners.
Exactly, it sure does. Yep. So, Gary, you said a large band or a large group of people, and the singer, is she, I assume it's female?
Yeah, she's from Faribault.
Oh, fabulous.
Our Piper.
Sure.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Are there any other local players who are joining you?
Let's see. Well, there's Mark Grafe. He's from Owatonna. There's Paul Osley is playing bass. He's the bass teacher at St. Olaf and the orchestra director at the high school. There's Beth Anderson doesn't live in Northfield anymore, but her mother-in-law is still here, and she spends a lot of time in Northfield. I went to St. Olaf with her. Yeah, so there's a lot of Northfield connections.
That's really great.
Local connections.
That's really great.
Just answer the phone because I thought it might be Roger. But it was actually Captain Neil Peterson from the Faribault Police Department. Tomorrow morning, the street department will be cleaning the following parking lots, and they will be closed from 4 a.m. until noon tomorrow. Parking lots number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13, 14, and 20. So, there you go. How's that for I just got the information right now. You witnessed that.
I did.
And we just put it on the air. How instantaneous is radio?
It's live and in color.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the color part, but it is live. The YouTube part is in color. So again, those parking lots are numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 13, 14, and 20. They'll be closed from 4 a.m. until noon tomorrow, so the street department can do some cleaning and some striping, putting the new lines
Oh, great.
on the parking lots. I think one of those is down by the Legion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have fresh stripes on the parking lot for the big event next Friday.
Next Friday, absolutely. Social hour at 5, dinner at 6, and the real best part, the band will start at 7.
Yeah. And the silent auction will go on throughout the evening, or what?
Right. Yep. We expect the evening to go until about 9:30, and the silent auction will be closed right then at 9:30.
Do you have a live auction too, or just the silent?
Just the silent one. We'll do a raffle drawing. So there's the $25 ticket, but you can also buy a $100 raffle ticket, and we have a fixed number of those. And for that $100, you actually get 2 dinner tickets that includes that. And then you get a 1 out of 5 chance of winning your $100 back.
Wow.
And then the grand prize winner, it wins $1,500. We only sell 100 tickets total. So, I mean, really, a 1 in 100 chance of winning $1,500 and a 1 in 5 chance of getting your $100 back.
Sounds like money in the bank.
Just about, yeah.
Just about.
Better than your odds at the lottery, I know that.
Exactly. And so raffle tickets and dinner tickets, you can get the raffle tickets at $100. That includes 2 dinner tickets, or just buy a dinner ticket itself, $25, and you can get both of those by calling the Historical Society.
Before I let you go, I wanted to get a little update on how your building is going, because you're doing some improvements down at the Historical Society Museum.
We sure are. There's a 3,000 square foot addition happening to the west side of the museum, and we were just out there looking at it today. It is 3/4 of that's going to be for storage, collection storage. A fourth of that's going to be for multi-purpose room, a bigger meeting room, and blank walls for exhibits. We have opportunities for traveling exhibits, but we don't have places to hang them. So now we will. And anybody who's come to some of our events in the last year or so know that we've had problems fitting everybody in. They've been really popular, which is fabulous, but our tiny room can only hold about 45. And about 2 years ago, or a year ago, I guess it was, we had an event where we literally had to schedule the second one. 80 people showed up to an event, and we couldn't fit them in.
Wow.
We'll now have a room that's big enough for that. In addition to that, the bathrooms are being remodeled. ADA requirements. Whenever you add on, you got to
Sure.
upgrade that. But the most important part is going to be the storage. As I mentioned, history grows and continues, and our collection is growing and continuing. We're becoming the repository for some of the township records as well as the county and the city records. So it's really great investment in Rice County history.
Which reminds me, if I have items
Mm-hmm.
that I'd like to donate to your museum, do I just
Give
bring
us-
those and?
It depends. We always invite phone calls about that. You know, if it's a single item and so on, perhaps bring it down. Otherwise, give us a call and we can talk about it. We do have guidelines because we're the Rice County Historical Society. Everything has to have a Rice County connection.
Sure, that makes
Made
sense.
in, used by, found in, that sort of thing. It needs to be in pretty good shape because it doesn't have to be in perfect shape, but we don't have money, because fixing things that are in really tough shape costs money and experience and expertise, etc. And so our collection's about 40,000 items, and so bringing additional things in, it's important that they be in pretty good shape. And that the best part, though, is the story. As we say, we don't collect stuff, we collect stories about people and about the past. So knowing its connection to their county is important.
I didn't get a chance, and I should have asked Gary, but I'm running out of time. In fact, I'm out of time. I was going to ask you why you picked the clarinet, but we'll save that for another day, okay, Gary?
Right.
We'll keep people
There's
hanging.
a short answer.
We'll tell them on. Tell them. Well, I guess. Well, we'll keep you hanging. Next Friday, maybe you'll find out if you stop on out. How's that? At the Legion. KDHL AM, Faribault, Minnesota.